Invictus, my kings, and welcome back to another Napoleon Total War, the Great War Mod France campaign playthrough, and we are just about ready to begin the march towards the enemy, well, final holdouts, I would say. The enemy holdouts that are in Warsaw, Danzig, and yes, even Königsberg. The Germans actually managed to recapture Königsberg. I do have a small itsy-bitsy army over here, but it's not going to do any damage to Königsberg at all. The Russians have to recapture it. It's just how things are going to have to go. We're not going to be able to do much damage to the Germans with that small army over there, that's for sure. But the march towards Warsaw begins with all of these armies heading towards Warsaw. We will surely have a pretty decent shot at actually capturing the city, and here we can begin the march towards Prague as well. Obviously, the Czechs have begun their march towards Prague as well, and even if we capture Prague, we will just hand it over back to the Czechs anyway. And this army can actually join the rest as well, just to make it an even more overwhelming and insane victory. Hopefully we'll just manage to crush the Germans, although this game can be a little finicky sometimes, so I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go, but hopefully it's going to go well. Maybe the Czechs could even march on in and we could just support them from the sidelines. That would also work, but we'll see how things go. The Czechs, they have actually put Prague under siege. Very cool. So what we could now do is we can't actually bomb the city while it's under siege. Very sad. But what we could do is we could just station our armies right next to Prague, so that when the Czechs decide to actually go for it, to go for the battle, we will be in place to support. And with this, armies will slowly edge forward and go towards Warsaw. That way we will probably have to fight off these armies over here stationed. There's some flamethrowers, some snipers, some real specialized troops, and all we have is just loads and loads of regular ass infantry, which is going to be sufficient. All of our units stationed in a line like this, ready to advance, ready to make trouble. Let's actually go southwards with this army so we can rejoin and save these guys. They've been caught behind enemy lines and it's not a good look. Let's immediately, not combat engineers, I want infantry. I want loads and loads and loads of infantry, regular ass dudes with rifles. That's our key to victory. Just regular ass dudes, nothing fancy, just loads and loads and loads and loads of infantry. We're pulling off a little bit of a Russian tactic over here, actually, but hopefully it works out. You know, you never know. Maybe we'll get the upper hand, and it seems like the Czechs are actually going to put up a fight, so let's help them out. And the Czechs have recovered Prague. Very cool. That's exactly what we wanted to happen. And let's try and bomb this single unit. I want to see what it actually does. Successful mission. Your plane successfully bombed the enemy. Well, we didn't bomb them though. They still are at full... whatever. I'm not gonna argue. So let's try bombing the army over here. Let's see what it does. Airplane detected, not able to bomb, eh? Very sad indeed. But let's move a bit closer with this army just so we can support, and let's initiate the attack. And we should have an overwhelming superiority over here. And let's actually start marching these guys forward. Let's just clean these guys up. And let's go straight to Warsaw. And let's bring out all of our armies to bear here on Warsaw, on the Germans here in Warsaw. That should be that should do the trick. And now let's try do a cheeky quick save and victory. There we go. We captured Warsaw. Let's liberate Poland. There we go. Poland has been liberated. It is now our protectorate, the Republic of Poland. Very cool. We even have gotten some some units out of that. Königsberg is now German and Danzig is now Russian. Very interesting, very interesting. These guys have been completely battered, so they should head home. But these armies over here will recuperate a little bit and then head straight towards Königsberg, and I will probably hand Königsberg over to the Russians, actually, now that I think about it. Let's see how the rest of the world is going. Vienna still held by the Italians. The Czechs have obviously recovered Prague. The Serbians have recovered, well, Belgrade. Croatia is the last holdout of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The last holdouts of the German Empire are Königsberg and Hungary, surprisingly, actually. So it's not really the Austro-Hungarian Empire anymore. Just some sort of, well, they don't even hold Austria anymore. So it's just some sort of empire, the Croatian Empire, I guess. But, yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles. So let's march on to Königsberg. Ooh, and the Russians have actually declared war on Poland. Well, we're not that interested in Poland, are we? So let the Russians handle their stuff. If they want to be at war with Poland, then let them. I'm not gonna enter into that mess. This is some geopolitics that I am not ready for. But the Russians are actually bringing tactical retreat. Where did they go? Oh, they went all the way over here. So let's just go through, let's just march to... Actually, the Russians have so many armies over here, they're probably going to recapture, Königsberg anyway. So let's bring our army south and let's deal a final finishing blow to, well, to the Germans here in Hungary, actually. Let the Germans handle their side, let the Russians handle their side of the war. I'm not that interested, honestly. But, yeah, we can bring up even more reinforcements over here to march towards Hungary and finally deal with the Germans this way. All right, here we are. The whole armada has been set up. It's even, the game is even lagging, man. The game is even lagging. So let's start the advance. Let's get this over with. The game is lagging to an incredible degree, but let's get this over with. Let's attack Hungary with all of our units. Bam, there we go. Victory. Again, let's march on Budapest. Again, let's deal with the enemy. Just blazing through all of these micro armies that the enemy has. And the settlement has been captured. We will now liberate Hungary. There we go. The first Hungarian Republic has been liberated. All of the minor German, they were lagging the game. All these minor German and Austro-Hungarian units. And nation destroyed. German Empire. Our little, our little campaign has come to an end. We have destroyed the German Empire. Obviously, the Austro-Hungarians still survive here in Croatia, but there are no defenses. The Italians are within range of capturing Croatia, so our campaign is a success. The Russians managed to recapture Königsberg. For some reason, they're sieging Warsaw. Well, I guess they want Warsaw, so it's theirs to keep, I guess. But there we go. That was the French campaign playthrough of the Great War Mode for Napoleon Total War. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you kings enjoyed. Hopefully you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.